Hello friends, it's Charlie. I wanted to do another video because I said I would. Um, and I would update you. I mean, I did that video, that long video, where I updated you about what's been happening since December. But that was just a brief overview. So I figured I'd do a little bit more today in depth about what happened in December and January. So bear with me. Shortness of breath is back. Sometimes when I talk, it gets bad or it gets hard. Okay. So December was not so much fun because I had scans on the 22nd and I found out that day the MRI results. I had an MRI and a CT, and the MRI results came back that day. In fact, on the way home from the scans, and it showed 2 brain lesions. So that was really tough to get just before Christmas, especially because I had to wait until after Christmas to talk to my oncologist. And the CT results wouldn't be back until after Christmas as well. Because in theory, if it's growing in the brain, it's growing in the chest too. So yeah, on January 8th, I met with my oncologist, and sure enough, things were growing again, and yeah, are in my brain now. So things happened fairly quickly after that. We decided to do what's called gamma knife radiation. It's a machine that has lasers that are tiny enough to pinpoint tiny specks in the brain, and do high doses of radiation, but in just that tiny little spot. So this is only used in the brain, I believe. And so we did that on January 19th. So that happened quite quickly. The day there was, they were very nice. It was quite calm and everything. The worst part was, because it's so minute, you have to stay perfectly still. So they actually mold a mask to your face, which is a little claustrophobic. I'm not claustrophobic, and I didn't find it too bad, except when it started to the molding was fine, but when I was actually in the machine for the radiation, I was in there for an hour and a half, I think, because I had more spots than they originally thought. I'll go into that in a second. But it would press, even though it's molded to my face, it pressed a little bit too hard in some spots as it goes through the hour and a half, and you're like, okay, can we be done yet? And I did manage. I was able to take a break at about 55 minutes. I think we took a little break, just to get the mask off and sit up, and yeah. So yeah, we did, the day of the gamma knife, one of the first things that they do is do an extra high contrast MRI. So they can see things that the regular MRI can't. So that high contrast MRI showed that I actually had 6 spots in my brain. Most very little, but the initial one of the initial ones that they found at the time when I had my original MRI, it was, I believe, I want to say 5 millimeters. And when they rescanned on the day of gamma knife, it was at 10 millimeters. So it had doubled in size. And 4 more had either appeared since or had always been there and just couldn't be seen. So that was a little bit of shocking news to get, but we were there where we were supposed to be to treat them all. So, you know, that's good. Yeah, so we did that. Like I said, I was in there for an hour and a half. They gave me a little bit of Ativan just to make sure that I would stay still. And that was quite nice, actually. It gave me a feeling of kind of floating, which took me out of the machine a little bit. So that was nice. Yeah. So that was Gamma Knife. I'm just gonna keep it to a short video here. I'll do some updates for right now as well. As you've noticed, I'm sure, and I said earlier, I'm having shortness of breath again. Like I said, it's hard when I talk a lot, or want to get something out really fast. And it's hard when I move. When I get up, like I made lunch earlier today, and by the time I sat down, I was wiped and breathing very heavy. Had a hard time catching my breath, and it's especially bad in the evenings, because to get to our bedroom, you have to walk up a flight of stairs, and that always makes the shortness of breath harder. And then one of the things that I've noticed, and I'm gonna have to change the way I sleep because of it, is that I always start the night lying on my left side. And when I'm lying on my left side, because of the way my lungs are, like my cancer is on my right side, and I'm not sure why exactly, but because of the way it's working, when I'm on my left side, I can't breathe out properly. So I can breathe in, but I can't breathe out more than about 2 seconds, and then it just stops. It feels like I'm still exhaling, but there's nothing coming out. So that makes getting over the shortness of breath and recovering much more difficult. So yeah, I talked to my palliative and symptom control people today. I've been trying to get a hold of somebody. It's been a thing. But I talked to them today, and they gave me some suggestions about sleeping higher. It might work, and I'm going in to see them in a couple weeks. So hopefully it hasn't gotten worse. Since it got worse, it stayed the same. It hasn't gotten worse again. So hopefully it'll continue to stay the same until then, or get better. That would be great. So anyway, yeah, that's it for today. Next time, what am I talking about? Next time we'll talk about the chest radiation that I got, which was a whole thing. I only did 5 sessions, but my side effects from the radiation were long and not fun. So tune in next time to hear about that. Thanks. Bye.